Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Ivalice, because we're going back to Ivalice. This is technically a follow-up series from upon finishing Final Fantasy Tactics, which we just did. Now we're going to do the Return to Ivalice raid series in Final Fantasy XIV. This is not a playthrough of all of 14. Obviously, it's just the Ivalice raid series because it's meant to be a spiritual successor slash follow-up to the story of Tactics, and a little bit of 12 as well. And I feel it's like really good for us to play right after finishing Tactics, so we're going to do that. And I've already completed it, obviously, but we've got this wonderful little feature called New Game Plus, and we can go through, you can actually replay every part of the story if you want here. Like, you can replay everything you want to, but we're going to go over to Chronicles of a New Era, and we're going to go over to Return to Ivalice, because that's the raid series. Fresh off their widely acclaimed performance of the Zodiac Brave story in Garlemald, the airborne theater troupe Prima Vista sets anchor in Kugane with a new story to be told. What brings them to these far lands? Sit back and let them regale you with a tale of the fabled kingdom of Ivalice, and perhaps you will understand. So, it's important to know, this Ivalice in 14... What? Oh, I can't do it from here? I guess I have to be on the ground. Okay. The Ivalice in 14 is not the same Ivalice as the one in Tactics. However, it's a version, like it's a parallel of Ivalice in the world of Itharice, which is the world of Final Fantasy XIV. There we go. We started it now. I don't know why we couldn't do that on the bridge. But anyway, we have this quest line over here that we're going to go do. I wonder, can you see my mouse cursor? That's a good question. I'll have to figure that out. If you can't see my mouse cursor in this one, maybe I'll have it so you can see it in the next one. Anyway, let's go ahead and accept this quest and we'll get this story started. All right, so we want to go over here and talk to Keiten, who's just an NPC, and we can't obtain rewards in New Game Plus mode. However, we can still do the whole quest line and do all the raids that are associated with it. And oh my god, I love the story. There's so much juicy lore like that serves Tactics' story, and oh, it's gonna be great. Let's start it. Keiten knows of someone seeking your acquaintance, and I'm gonna have to voice act this too because there's no voice acting, at least not in the actual quest line. Welcome, my lord. There's a young maiden here who would speak with you. Who might that be? Miss, the adventurer has arrived. Oh, she's happy. By the way, I'm playing Samurai in here because I think it's fitting to play Samurai. Plus, like, Ramsa wasn't really a Samurai the way that we meant to. I was supposed to have him do his Iaido stuff, and we didn't do it. So I feel like, all right, we can just have Samurai here on my character. And here he is, the liberator of both Doma and Alamigo in the flesh. I am Lina Miorila, what a name, correspondent for the Raven. You may recognize me from my expose on the secret lives of the homunculi. It's like, I have no clue, man. Not a clue. Is there a problem? Who knows what I'm saying? Mushi, oh, that would be my sister! People mistake us all the time. Same profession, you see, and we do bear a passing resemblance. I can't remember what continent her sister's from. Is it... It's escaping me. I've probably done the content because it's referencing it, but yeah, I don't know. When last I heard, she was still assigned to the Botanist Guild in Gridania, poor thing. Oh, was she in the Botanist quest line? Maybe that's the case. That's so interesting. But enough small talk. It's not for nothing that I've been standing here since yesterday morning on the off chance you'd pass by. Wow, yeah, that's pretty stalkery of you, my friend. Oh, and it just became night. No, I'm here because, actually... It's best you heard it from Alma. I am but an observer. Alma, come! I found him! Is this the adventurer of whom you spoke? Indeed it is! Please, I beg of you, find my father. You are his only hope. That's a lot all at once, my friend. Oh, it's all right, Alma. We are attracting unwanted attention. Might I suggest a change of venue? We will await you before the Prima Vista. The theater barge has a berth at the airship landing. All right, sounds good. So yeah, interesting thing about the story is you don't actually have to have played, I mean, you do have to, like, to actually play this story, you have to have played through the beginning of the game, through A Realm Reborn, Heaven's Word, and then Stormblood, but the actual story of this raid, while it definitely enriches the world, it's not required reading to play through 14 to, like, really get this story. I wouldn't even say you don't need to play through Tactics either, because it sort of, in a way, retells parts of Tactics. But I mean, if you do know the story of 14, it definitely helps. But it's not gonna, like, if you don't know it, like, don't let that turn you away. Oh, there's Alma, 14's version of Alma, anyway. Hello, Lena. As I said before, I think it better we continue this conversation in the privacy of the young lady's barge. It's not that I don't trust anyone here. It's simply that I don't trust anyone here. That's fair enough. Gateguard Minagumo has been instructed to look out for you. In future, speak with him when you wish to gain admission to the docks. Yeah, so this city that we're in, this is the city of Kugane, which is essentially Final Fantasy XIV Japan. That's like the best way I can put it. It's a cool city, though. Alright. Hello, Lena. Wait, what does Alma have to say? Not much. Okay. Thank you for coming, Talem. You're probably wondering why I've summoned you to an airship, and a Garlean one at that. Allow me to explain on the shuttle. Okay. The animations are so stiff. I mean, it's crazy to realize, like, this raid series is now about almost 10 years old. That's wild, because Stormblood's getting there. What was it? Heaven's Word was 2015, Stormblood was 2017. So yeah, this probably came out, like, late 2017, early 2018. Ooh, almost 10 years since this story. That's wild to me. Hello, Alma. What do you got to say? The Prima Vista serves as both stage and home to the Majestic Imperial Theater Company. Interesting. You can keep that dirk in your drawers. No one here is a member of the Imperial Army, nor are there any spies within the troop. At least, no known spies. Yeah, I really like how they made the Beowulfs here. Well, not Beowulfs, like the stand-in Beowulfs, like Imperials. A nice change. Ask anyone, and they will readily attest. The Majestic Imperial Theater Company are the finest practitioners of the dramatic arts to be found anywhere in the 3 great continents, and beyond. They have admirers throughout the Empire and its territories, and even boast a sizable following in Gridania, hence my assignment to their story. It is a little-known fact, outside Garlemald at least, that the late Emperor was a devoted patron of the arts who supported various theater troupes to the tune of much coin. That does sound like him. Indeed, Solus was so enamored of the majestic players that he ordered the construction of this very airship, that the troupe might perform in every corner of the Empire. When his grandson took the throne, however, everything changed. Now, all theater troupes, domestic and foreign, must submit their works for approval by the Central Imperial Board of Censors. If a play is deemed vulgar or inflammatory, it is banned, and the troupe denied their writs of transit. The worst offenders? Well, they are never heard from again. This policy has effectively left playwrights with one of two options: compromise their creative integrity to curry favor with his radiance, or put down their quills altogether. The principal of the Majestic, however, chose a third option: to express his disapproval for the new Emperor's policies obliquely, in ostensibly unpolitical works. Pray forgive me for my earlier outburst. I am Alma Bas Luxentale, daughter of Principal Genomus Sen Luxentale. Mayhap you have heard of my father's latest play, The Zodiac Brave Story? On the surface, it is an innocent retelling of a well-known Garlean fairy tale, hardly worthy of the censor's attention. But beneath, it is something quite different, a fact that censors failed to spot when they approved the manuscript for public performance. The play quickly became a huge success. The common folk loved its fantastical story, while the learned class appreciated its true message. By the time the Imperial Board of Censors realized their mistake, it was too late. No longer in a position to prohibit the performance outright without admitting fault, they took aim at the company's purse strings instead. Before long, noble patrons began to withdraw their support, fearing to be associated with the troupe, And by the end, even the learned felt compelled to feign ignorance. By bleeding the majestic of their funding, the censors robbed them of their voice. That's kind of weird. And none of this has made it any clearer as to why you're here. Right. Allow me, Lena. Oh, this is FF14 Sid, not Tactics Sid. This is our boy. We miss him a lot. He hasn't been around lately. Hello, Sid. Good to see ya. We go way back. I've known Genoma since we were students at the Mashtech Academy. When I heard his daughter was in Kugane, looking to enlist the aid of an adventurer, I felt compelled to give you her name. Sorry for not announcing myself sooner, old friend. It's all good. It's all good. Genomus and I were from different worlds, but that only served to fuel our friendship. Many were the nights we would prattle on into the wee small hours, warm flagons of peated ale numbing our minds to the other's naive ideologies. Yet, no matter where our conversation began, it would invariably end with him telling me how he was going to change the Empire from the inside out. The troop was to be his path into the people's hearts. Even after the Empire forced him from his home, Genomus never gave up hope that his work might change the world. Art will ever strain against artificial bounds and borders, man-made walls and misguided wars. It is in such times of uncertainty that we must needs embrace our calling and take to the skies so others might do the same. Nice little flashback there. Just get a peek of what he looks like. What I am trying to say, rather poorly I concede, is that not all Garleans are hewn from the same stone. Just as there are those who pledge their lives to the Empire and would never think to question the authority of its leaders, there are those like Alma's father and myself, whose love for their country does not blind them to its flaws. Still, try selling that sack of sunflower to an Alamegan or a Doman who has watched his family consumed in the flames of a Magitech Reaper. How many Eorzean adventurers do you think would leap at the opportunity to help an Imperial search for her missing father? And in Garlean territory, no less. But you are different. You have seen enough to know that the line between good and evil is not defined by race, color, or creed. So, what say you? I would make a poor adventurer were I to shy from adventure. That's very true. Gotta tell yourself that sometimes. Keep your chin up, you know? Indeed. Now that you understand the nature of the task, perhaps Alma could provide some insight as to where we might begin our search. Shortly before my father disappeared, he began work on his next play, a successor to the Zodiac Brave story. Ironic, because that's kind of what this story is. But I am getting ahead of myself. Please, follow me. Sounds good. How are we doing on time? We're 14 minutes in. Okay, so we're not going to get to the raid in this episode, or maybe even the next one. I don't know how long this will take, because I'm still keeping like the 20-minute-ish bits. But don't worry, there's 3 raids, and they're all really, really fun. And they're just going to be fun little highlights of this Let's Play, you know? I kind of want to do other Let's Plays of pieces of content in 14. I feel like that'd be cool. Oh, look at that. That's cool. That's cool as hell. Well, we got a nod. Through adventure and hardship, young Delita, a boy of common blood, becomes a hero, culminating in the birth of the mythical kingdom of Ivalice. But that is where the story ends. There are no records of anything that follows. Was Principal Genomus simply going to invent something? My father believed that he had discovered evidence of a second hero, one whose efforts went largely unnoticed, but without whom Delita would never have risen to the throne. His was the next tale he wanted to tell, the true Zodiac Brave story. A second hero? According to my father's studies, this young man was one of Delita's closest friends and confidants. That is, until the untimely passing of Delita's sister forced the two to part ways. Yet the unnamed hero continued to provide aid to his friends by thwarting the machinations of those who would scheme against Delita, thus paving the way for the pauper's rise to regent. You must forgive me, but I've never heard of anyone make such claims. How exactly did your father come by this information? That is a long story. One which begins and ends with Genomus becoming lost in the very legend he sought to lay bare. Even as far back as our academy days, Ivalice had Genomus firmly in its grasp. He flatly refused to believe the story was just a fairy tale. And so, when he was finally driven out of Garlemald, it was only natural that he should choose this of all places as his refuge. Was it not, Elma? That is correct, Master Garland. It has long been my father's belief that the ruins of ancient Ivalice lie beyond Nagcha, buried deep beneath the sands of the Dalmasca Desert. I hope I'm saying that right, Nagcha. It's Yanxia, so Nagcha makes sense. Poor Dalmasca, the kingdom prospered in relative isolation for countless generations, until the Empire came calling. When not touring, my father would organize expeditions into the Dalmasca Desert to search for proof of Ivalice's existence. Sometimes he would bring back strange artifacts, ancient tomes, and crystals. Crystals unlike any others. Oh, we got one. Oh, don't turn into a Lucavi now. My father called them Auracite and claimed they were vital to proving his theories. This is one such crystal. By the 12, it's magnificent. Ivalician legend tells of crystals bequeathed by the gods unto those who would be kings. It is during his quest to gather Auracite that young Delita rises to prominence. I must have heard the tale 1,000 times from my nursemaid, but that is all it ever was, a tale. My father would often tell us how the Auracite spoke to him. At the time, we assumed he was speaking figuratively, that the stone's beauty roused his muse. But then he began to act strangely. How so? Following our arrival here in Hingashi, my father spent most of his time cloistered in his chambers, poring over his past research. And though he was alone, we could oft hear him in conversation. It was not uncommon for my father to recite the lines as he wrote them, but it soon became clear that this was something else. It was as if he was talking to my mother who passed several winters gone. Might this not have been out of mere loneliness? Or perhaps the strain of your flight from Garlemald? Possibly, but that would not explain the voices which answered him. Alma, who are these people? I told you I did not require any help finding father, especially from outsiders. I need water, man. There's a lot to voice act. So good of you to join us, Ramza. Allow me to introduce. Enough, Master Cid. We may be shunned by the Empire, but we are still Garleans, and we will still have our pride. Unlike some, it seems. We require neither the aid nor the pity of foreign rabble. Have you forgotten where you are, brother? It is we who are the foreign rabble. This land and its customs are all but unknown to us. We would be fools to conduct our search without a proven guide. Your sister is right, Ramza. And for my good friend here, your mistrust is ill-placed. I will personally vouch for his character. In all the time I have known him, he has never once let anything as insignificant as race or creed color his judgment. You are lucky to have him. Hell yeah, you are. But we would have you, Master Garland. Why do you refuse us? You know why. Until this affair with Omega is resolved, my hands are tied. So, a little bit of tidbit. Simultaneously as this raid story is coming out, the Omega raid story is also coming out. And so they have a little bit of intermingling. And I like that. It's cool. It makes the world feel so alive. It pains me to refuse you and your sister. But it pains me far more to leave Genomus to his fate. I am sorry. He's got to focus on the robot beetle, man. He's all over that questline. You need not apologize. I let my emotions get the better of me. After what happened in Rabanastre, it may be time to admit we're out of our depth. My brother's last expedition met with tragedy in the ruins of the capital city. He barely escaped with his life. The Empire turned Rabanaster into a death trap. We were a fool to set foot there without a proper escort. I realize that now, Master Garland, but at the time I saw an opportunity to rescue our father, and I took it. Whatever led you to believe your father was in Dalmasca's capital? My father's fascination with Evalician legend began with a trip to the Antediluvian city, long before the war. Call it a premonition, but something tells me that this is where he has returned. Now you must excuse me. I need some time to think. Then, Alma, I shall leave you and your brother in Talem's capable hands. He has ever repaid my trust with interest. You would do well to grant him yours. Thank you, Master Garland. We will not forget this kindness. All right. Catch you later, Sid, my boy. Ah, Sid, my boy. How very glib. Okay, so I think this is probably where we're going to end it off because my voice needs a break. And I think we'll finish the quest, and then we have a raid. We got the first raid coming up right after this. But yeah, let's finish this. Master Garland seems to think highly of you, so I will withhold judgment until after Dalmasca. All right, we'll complete that. All right, there we go. So in the next quest, A City Fallen, we're gonna get into Rabanaster. It's very fun. I can't wait. For now, we'll end it off. How long did we even get to? About 22 minutes. That's perfect. All right, what a perfectly timed episode for a quest that I probably went through very slowly because I'm voicing everything and actually trying a little bit. I'm not trying. I don't want to be lazy about it, even though I'm also very self-aware that I'm not a voice actor. I don't do this shit normally, so I'm just having fun with it, you know. But yeah, we'll talk to Ramza, who you can tell, by the way, is not quite as pleasant as his Final Fantasy Tactics counterpart. This Ramza is a little bit more of a dickhead, I would say. But he's still, it's interesting. There's a reasoning behind it, and you'll see it as time goes on. But anyway, that's all for now. I'll see you later. Bye, guys.